Wow, the art in this really sucks. Let's try and fix that. Hello everyone, DanseMacabre here. Welcome back. A few months back, I did a video doing a dramatic reading / reaction to a comic I made back in middle school. Of course, the comic wasn't that great. If you want to see that video with the comic and get some context, I will leave a link to it in the iCard up here. However, today we are actually going to be redrawing the OCs in this comic. Of course, since there are like 20 characters approximately in this comic, I'm going to be doing a few parts. I will also be trying to get as close to their designs as possible, as I want to try to salvage the designs that are already there rather than completely change everything. However, I will make some exceptions as I see necessary, and I'll let you guys know about my thoughts and process behind the redesigns. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So leading off, we have Richter, the god of earthquakes. So to be quite honest, I actually wasn't that unhappy with the original design of Richter. Most of this was really just trying to tone down some of the really oversaturated colors and fixing up some of the anatomical issues. I also decided to do a little bit of things around the eyes since he is mostly an underground creature, and some little things like whiskers and a couple other body details. I don't think I should have gone for that light of a fur color with such a dark blue, but for the most part I'm pretty happy with him. He's a little cutie. But yeah, not much else to say. Pretty happy with how he came out. Alright, next is my two oldest OCs, the dynamic duo, Rex and Splinter, starting with Rex. So, for these two, I decided to go in a bit of a different direction. I stuck with mostly the same color scheme, but I felt like it was a little bit weird to just have a talking dinosaur and a talking alligator in this world. I don't ever know. So I decided to make them a little bit more dragon-like. Rex, I went for a more kind of wyvern sort of approach to it. He looks mostly the same, save for the wings, markings on his nose, and the horns. Mostly this was just a bunch of anatomical fixing, plus the extra little details, but I'm mostly happy with how he came out. And then of course, you can't have Rex without Splinter. For Splinter, I decided to go with a bit more of a serpentine slash kinda Asian-y dragon sort of look. But I don't know how I feel. I tried to kind of keep a bit of the crocodile sort of look, had the spikes going down the back, the same kind of color scheme. I don't know. I mean, I don't know necessarily what else I would change about him, but I mean, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Alright, and then next we have Alexa. Her name was never revealed in the comic, but luckily I had a little bit of a character sheet that had her name on there. Now look, in that one frame, I don't know if she actually is evil or if I just drew a really weird expression for some reason, but honestly, I really like the idea of like this seemingly innocent girl just being completely evil, stealing the necklace and just causing a whole bunch of shit to go down. So I decided to kind of go for that angle. I did try to go with the black hair that was in her original character portrait. I probably could have gone with a lighter black, but I decided that brown kind of fit her color scheme a little bit more. And I decided instead of going with the blue cape and the brown pants, I decided to just go with a more teal green kind of color scheme for the rest of her outfit, just to kind of make everything kind of, I guess, hold together a little bit better. And I was gonna have her hold some kind of satanic book in her hand, but I decided just to go with the Earth Guardian necklace, just to kind of make things, just to kind of make it tie in with the story a little bit more. Yeah, pretty happy with how she turned out. I think she's cute, little wolf in sheep's clothing. Not much else I would change. Alright, next is Soul, the Guardian of Light. Now, I'm gonna be kinda honest, I think the original design for Soul is kinda creepy. So I decided to kind of get away from the fetusy sort of look and give it a little bit more of an animalistic sort of approach. He kind of looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, but whatever. I decided to kind of make him a little bit more soft and sleepy looking. Both kind of because he was kind of dozing off in the comic, but I also kind of see him to be a little bit more soft, warm, relaxed, inviting, things like that. Really, the color scheme is mostly the same as it was before. The major difference is in the design itself. Though I do think I am a lot happier with this design than I am with the old design, so at least there's something with that. Alright, last but not least, we have the main character, the edgelord himself, Maurizo. With him, I actually kind of had a hard time getting his design down. I did not know what to do with his color scheme. I had trouble getting him drawn out right. I kind of ended up giving up a little bit near the end, but I was able to get something together. So for younger kid Maurizo, I felt like he was a little bit too bland, a little bit too much of an ordinary looking kid for living in a huge ass mansion. So I decided to give him a little bit more of a fancy rich boy kind of look. Of course, with the little tousled hair and everything, he still needs to be emo. Really, his color scheme and everything is mostly the same, save for the clothing. I decided to get rid of that stupid shirt with the Japanese symbol that's probably wrong. Now, Maurizo, a little bit older, was a different story. I hated the green and yellow sleeves. I wanted to simplify his color scheme a little bit more. I felt like I almost kind of oversimplified it. Maybe I could have added in the yellow shirt, but I didn't really want to. And I decided to get rid of the stupid cape. So really the main things that stayed with him was the black hair, red eyes, and the claws. But I simplified his color scheme to mostly being red and black, and kind of gave him a little bit more edgelordy, kind of punk looking style. I wanted to keep him edgy, just simplify things a little bit more and make him a little bit less Voldemort-y. I had a little bit of a hard time choosing what kind of pants and clothes to actually do with him. I don't know, I'm not really good with fashion kind of stuff. That's actually one of my weaker points when designing characters. But I think he's fine. He's edgy, he gets the job done, and he definitely looks a lot better than that completely confusing color palette that I had before. Alright, I know that there were only 6 in this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do them for part 1, and I'll go ahead and do some more for the next few parts. Be sure to tell me in the comments section if you think that these characters are more improved, or if you think I just completely messed up and I suck. But if you guys like this and you want to see part 2, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell because the next part will be coming out and you do not want to miss it. And if you want to further support me, check out the description. I got all my stuff down there. Go ahead and click through it to your heart's content. Until next time, this is DanseMacabre, signing off.